President Trump didn't just defend Western civilization during his visit to Poland today. During a joint news conference with the Polish president, Trump criticized CNN for hounding that anonymous Reddit user who had the gall to create an anti-CNN GIF featuring the president.
What CNN did was unfortunate for them. As you know now, they have some pretty serious problems. They have been fake news for a long time. They've been covering me in a very dishonest way. But CNN and others, I know others, NBC is equally as bad, despite the fact that I made them a fortune with The Apprentice, but they forgot that. But I will say that CNN has really taken it too seriously, and I think they've hurt themselves very badly, very, very badly.
Whoa! Well, as you can imagine, that led the newscast and lots of other channels today, overpaid cable anchors, calling it, in effect, unpatriotic to criticize them while being on foreign soil. Watch.
American presidents traveling abroad typically uphold American values such as press freedom and the institution of the presidency. Mr. Trump, for his own reasons, did not.
He got savaged for attacks against some people in the media. It does not help his poll numbers.
His media comments of a piece with everything he said before, but the timing of it on foreign soil before a summit in a region of the world where the question of press freedom is still a really important one. No other president in our lifetime probably ever would say such a thing.
You couldn't make it up. Joe Concha follows this stuff for a living. He writes about media for The Hill, and he joins us now. So now, Joe, it's unpatriotic. By the way, the president, we opened with this. I'm not a reflexive defender of the guy, but he just gave a speech defending Western civilization and freedom of expression. But now the press is telling us it's unpatriotic for him to criticize them. How does that work? I thought it was unpatriotic to criticize soldiers on foreign soil, but now cable anchors are in the same category? How does this work?
How does it work? It works in a way of selective outrage, Tucker. Because I don't know if you saw Maxine Waters' tweet that came out just a couple hours ago. She said about Donald Trump, our president, on foreign soil with foreign leaders, all right? Because apparently this is against the rules as well. Only a weak and impotent leader would spend more time attacking his predecessor in the free press than those in the world truly threatening us. So then I looked at the Twitter feeds of all the people you just played, and no one seems to be condemning Ms. Waters for making that mistake of criticizing a president while he's overseas. So until I see that, this is the definition of selective outrage, and it's phony.
But is this a long-standing tradition that you don't criticize cable anchors when you're outside of American borders? I mean, is that an assault on our flag and our history, do you think?
I don't believe so. I believe that is Trump exercising his First Amendment right. And he was asked a question from a reporter about that CNN situation yesterday. You talked about it on your show with Mark Stein. That was a very colorful conversation, particularly the horse in the bed thing from The Godfather. I like that. As far as CNN tracking down an anonymous troll who created a Twitter meme, a wrestling meme of Trump wrestling a logo to the ground. It's so silly and so preposterous, no one would take it seriously. And then the network actually threatening to expose this person if he acted inappropriately on the internet ever again. That's called doxing. That was something that was condemned by the left and the right. And CNN, it was just another self-inflicted wound that the president was addressing during a press conference where he was asked a question and he gave an answer. Is he a traditional president? No. But you ask a question, you give an answer. That's how it works.
You know, my unsolicited editorial is you get a lot out of laughing at things once in a while. Like, you can't be outraged all the time about everything. It's not a good look. So what's going on? You're a media reporter. You follow this stuff carefully. CNN has had an awful lot of crises in the past few weeks. Is there any indication that the people who run the place are looking within and saying, you know, maybe we didn't make all the mistakes we're accused of, but we made some and we're going to fix them? Is there any sense of that?
I don't see that in terms of the public comments, in terms of the Twitter feeds of some of the on-air personalities and the network president. They seem to be playing the card that they are the victims here, that Donald Trump, the president, is bullying them, that conservative media is bullying them, and they don't seem to be acknowledging the myriad of mistakes that they have made. And I would say this is the worst stretch in the 37-year history history of CNN. Just think of the aggregate for a second, Tucker. You had 2 major retractions in June, one of which involving Anthony Scaramucci, who is a Trump ally, that led to 3 resignations of highly decorated reporters. You had Kathy Griffin holding up the fake severed head of Donald Trump that led to her getting fired from the network's New Year's Eve coverage. You had Reza Islan, who was a host, who was fired because he called the president a POS. You had producers caught on camera in undercover videos talking about how the narrative in Russia is mostly BS and that American voters are stupid. And then obviously the July 4th situation with the Reddit troll that they said they would expose if he acted inappropriately. All of these things in aggregate, Tucker, is horrible. And then today you had Chris Cillizza, who is their political editor-at-large, who actually put up a video, a 2-second video, that appeared to show Donald Trump being blown off by the Polish First Lady. Except that if you watch that video for 4 more seconds, and by the way, Cillizza says, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God," on his Twitter feed in all caps. If you watch the whole thing, as you see there, of course she shakes President Trump's hand. She went to Melania Trump first, and she shook Donald Trump's hand again. And yet you have Chris Cillizza, who is an important person there, not understanding that there is so much scrutiny around this network right now that when you put out fake videos like that with false editing, it only leads to the perception that CNN is the opposition party. And that is why when a Harvard study comes out, 93% of their coverage of the Trump administration is negative. This only feeds into the narrative that CNN is not acting like the impartial, objective network they claim to be.
That's, you know, I still have friends there. I think they're dying. This is so embarrassing for them.
It's got to be tough, right? It's a tough business, and for this to happen on a daily basis where your network's called out, I couldn't imagine what it's like. No. Unless you're on air, you don't get paid a lot, and the hours stink, and you work weekends, and then just to see your network get bashed for your hard work, I feel sorry for some of the producers I know over there as well.
And run like a political campaign, not a journalism organization. It's very sad. Joe, thanks you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.